Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me again today. Sorry, I took a good deal of last week off for, family stuff, whatever. Um, Cher, thank you so much for being here tonight. And I believe Mia is joining us shortly as well, I hope.
She is. I just texted her.
Awesome. Awesome. Right off the bat, I wanted to talk about a couple things. Number one, there's someone who's posting in the chat who I wanted to address directly. In real justice, it's not you this time. but, uh, but a lot of people have said, who is Tanya? People actually don't know who I am. I am the author of a lot of books, including the only novel written about the Watts family murders. It's called No Inclination, and I've got a link to my book and all my books below, or you can just simply Google me and find the book. It is basically my theory about what happened in the case. Now, I wanted to address, I think her name is Sagacious Angel, rather, because she's asking questions about why we continue to make up narratives and we're hurting the Rusek family. Okay, first of all, my belief is that the murders happened exactly as Chris explained. And as horrific as it is, I believe exactly the official version, that Chris did it all by himself. And again, if you read my book, you'll see that I pretty much exonerate the mistress, who in the book is named Stephanie, as well as both families. I take them out of the mix, and I hope I show that neither one of the families are to blame for anything, including the Watts family. They've done nothing wrong. So my version is basically the official version, with the addition to the horrible confession Watts made to Sherilyn Cadle, indicating that he tried to kill the girls twice. So that's in the book as well. But there's nothing, what I believe in is the official version in the story. There is something I wanted to bring up tonight about NK. I do not think she's guilty, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I think she's a victim too, guys. If this would have happened, and Chris got away with it, 10 years from now, he'd be done with NK too. Will she be gone next? People have done it before, killed multiple spouses. Look at, what's his name over here, about a mile or so from my house. It happened in Bolingbrook. Peterson, not Scott Peterson, the other guy. He killed like 3 of his wives, right? Or
yeah, like 3 or 4 wives he killed.
Yeah. Drew Peterson, that's right.
Yeah.
And I actually sold, when I was a realtor, I sold a house right there in their neighborhood. And I hope, they were a young couple as well. And I hoped, well, Drew wasn't young, but Stacy was. I hope that they didn't know this family. Oh my gosh. But whatever the case. No, I believe in the official version of Chris Watts, that he is told, that he is arrested for, that he is in prison for, that he did all the murders by himself. I firmly believe that Nicole Kessinger was innocent, and when she realized that he was acting kind of wonky, when his wife and family were missing, I think she said, oh my God, I am going to be implicated in this crime because they're going to find out I was his mistress. And so therefore she deleted everything in her phone related to Chris because she didn't want to be linked to Chris. Which I don't think I'd do that because I'm terrified to lie about anything. So I certainly wouldn't. I'd show the police what it is and say, yeah, I was his mistress, but I definitely wasn't there. I had no idea who was going to do this. Anyway, Cher, do you want to add to any of that?
Nope, I agree with all of that so far.
Thank you. Good. But the lovely Mia should be here shortly. I'm hoping my link works for her because I don't think she uses StreamYard normally. Does she, or I think she does it just a regular recording.
She said she's calling in right now.
Yay! So I'll see her lovely face up on our little my little behind the scenes board here, and I'll click and let her in. Let's see. I'm trying to get to comments. We can do that while I'm waiting. The Netflix, what is it? The Netflix documentary is already finished and due to be released after the anniversary of the murders. Awesome. I know that I'm featured in the current documentary, which is called Buried with Love, the Watts family murders. It was done by Dan Abrams from Live PD. It's his production. I look like like I said before, a pregnant toad or something. I have no idea how, why, whatever, but at least you can hear my voice. And episode 8, which was the finale, they put it out on Sunday because they released them every Sunday. And for whatever reason, they retracted that 8th episode. And I know that that was the episode where we talked about the burials. And at one point during the filming, I said something like, the girls were covered so much in crude oil that they could have spontaneously combusted. So it was difficult getting them back to North Carolina. And then the producer lady said to me, "Oh no, can we go back over that and do it a little bit more kindly so that it's not as gruesome?" And I think everyone's a true crime fanatic, so I just went ahead and so then I repeated what I had said, but without the horrible, truth of the matter in there. And I noticed in the 8th episode they included my second version of events. You can hear me talking about it, but they didn't include the more graphic stuff that I had actually said on camera. Which is great. There are a lot of people coming into the case who don't know much about it, and that would be a big shock. But other than that, other than me, rambling on and on forever, I didn't see anything in that 8th episode that was worthy of cutting the entire episode off. But I'm sure they had good reason. They're an excellent production company. Dan Abrams, he just canceled his live PD, but I know that he's a good producer and everything should be fine. I'm assuming they'll put it back up in the next few days. But if you haven't caught that yet, it's on Facebook Watch currently. And it's going to go somewhere else after that as an entire documentary, but it's in about 10-minute spots. There are 7 of them. And they put out the 8th one, but again, they took it down. And I'm hoping they'll put it back up again shortly. But yeah, that's awesome. I love documentaries, especially when it involves true crime. Let's see here. How am I stopping? Oh, guys, don't argue in chat. It looks like an argument almost.
Hey, cowboy. Howdy, howdy.
Aw. And we have a new mod in here. I hope Tracy's here. Tracy, are you here? Because she had agreed to be my moderator previously, and she helped me with my last show, and so did Cher. But Cher's here, so she can't do both. But there's a new gentleman who's helping me. What is it? Prairie Boy 77, I believe. Thank you for helping. And yeah, what I was going to say, Cher, you want to go ahead and talk about a few rules here because we don't want anyone to be bullied again ever on my channel. Yeah.
Right. So we're going to do there's no name calling anyone, any guest on panel or anyone in the chat amongst each other. You're going to go on timeout. So it's your warning. Don't get pissed off if you're going to put yourself there. After one timeout, there's orders that you guys get blocked because we're just not going to deal with it. It gives everybody anxiety. And Tanya is clearly uncomfortable when you guys do that. And this is her platform. So that's how it's going to go.
Thank you so much. And again, I love all the YouTubers and everybody who I've encountered throughout this case. I really enjoyed their work. And I have nothing against anyone. I love everybody. So that's not what my channel is about. I know, Mia's isn't either. And she had some trouble the other night with bullies or whatever. So yeah, I feel sorry for her too. And Dr. B, oh my gosh, I love her. I love Dr. B. I was hoping she could join us tonight, but she's got other commitments today. But so yeah, and Real Justice. Anyone time my rant? You are such a goofball. You remind me of my little brother, actually.
Is Mia in backstage, Tanya?
I don't see her now.
It said she's joining as guest. She thinks she's in backstage. Okay, hang on.
She has to click on the in backstage thing or join backstage or whatever it is. Thanks, Real Justice. Like I said, you remind me of my rotten little brother. Haha, no offense, and please don't edit me or boot me out of my own channel. It's a joke. And everything that's done in fun, I don't take offense to at all. And yeah, but I do ramble on forever. See, I'm doing it right now. But I guess that's why I enjoy doing YouTube because I just don't shut up. Hold on. Tanya, how did you get started with researching true crime cases and writing about them? A friend and I have been talking about doing something along these lines with cases in our state, but I'm trying to decide on a starting point. Thank you, Layla. I'll have to, you friend me on Facebook. I friend all my fellow authors. But I got started, I used to do TV news. I used to be the nightly business girl back in the 90s on the Inland Empire TV news in Southern California. And then I went to writing as a stringer when we moved to Illinois. And I sort of dropped journalism and writing for about 15 years. Then, when my daughter was, I think, 14, a girlfriend of mine who had an 8-year-old son wrote a book. And I thought, well, if she can do it, having an 8-year-old running around, I can certainly do it with my 14-year-old who can actually walk and, dress herself and whatever. Um, so I started writing, but not true crime right away. I actually wrote a book about Kaylee Anthony, or half a book, and I stopped it because I didn't know how it would be received. That was the first book I started working on, but then I came out with The Cure, just sort of about corrupt government and the fake cure for cancer and things like that. But as far as true crime, what got me into true crime really was poor little JonBenét. And I still firmly believe that her mother killed her in an accident, whatever. But my husband and I were going through fertility treatments at the time, and my daughter was born in 98. But at the time when JonBenét passed away in 96, I thought, oh my gosh, this mother obviously did it. If she was done with her, I would have taken her in a heartbeat, the way a lot of us react now to any child who has been killed by a parent, especially. But yeah, that's what got me into true crime. And from there, I kind of got engrossed in the Lacey Peterson case. And then what else? With the Kaylee Anthony case really, knocked me for a loop as well. If you guys remember the old web sleuths online, it says that her device is not connected, Cher, not to interrupt myself, but
Okay.
oh wait, maybe add to stream. There she is.
Yay.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here. It's awesome. Hi, Mia. I don't think we've ever talked for real.
For real.
Yeah, for real. You guys are so pretty. I feel like a toad.
Beautiful.
Aww.
Thank you, Mia, so much for accepting and coming on today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And for your video you did. I didn't think you owed me any apology, but I thought that was really cool that you did that when you knew it was going to jeopardize your channel a little bit. I really admire you for doing that, by the way.
The apology video, I love that. Yeah, thank you. I feel bad because I think a lot of drama started here, and that's like the last thing I'm about is drama. So I don't know.
Drama was already here before you got onto YouTube, Tanya. Let me tell you.
I know. And when I wrote my book and I ran around to different channels, like AD or whatever, JS for Justice, I told everyone, I don't know why you guys don't get along. You're all after the same goal, which is to resolve a mystery. Well, not a mystery, but to bring justice to that beautiful family who was killed. And we all have the same goal. So I don't know why anyone would hate on each other for trying to figure it out. But Mia, what is your theory about what happened?
I hate drama.
I do too. Yeah. I do too. But I mean, what's your theory about the Watts case? What do you think really happened? I think we're on a delay.
Sorry, I have.
Can you hear me okay?
I have a
connection issues.
Yeah, it looks like she's having internet issues.
Static.
I'm hearing every other word a little bit. I don't know if that's my end.
Right.
Oh, Cher, I hope it's okay because you're kind of frozen.
She can always call in to you and go on speaker if that doesn't work.
Yeah, Mia, do you want to call in?
Do you want me to text you the phone number?
Did you?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Awesome. So, Sheriff, we can't get your video up and working. We'll just do you on the phone to me and to Cher while we run this this live. Let's see here. And it worked before when Cher couldn't get on. We just did it on my phone and it worked. Thankfully, my phone took a charge. It took a charge last night. I don't know if anybody's having that trouble with iPhones, but my husband's and my phone stopped taking a charge in the last week. Let's see. Should I try to add her one more time?
Yeah, try it one more time. I'm sending you your number now.
Let me try. No, the only option I have is remove. So she's actually in. She's in here with us, but her internet looks like it's just crashing. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and remove her.
Yeah, or do you want to go and call me on my phone?
Yeah, remove Mia. I'm texting her right now.
Do
Awesome.
you think it would be better?
It'll probably be better, unless you're. No, she's moving now, Cher. She's doing okay.
There's Mia. Okay, I'm gonna send you the phone number, Mia. So if there is problems, go ahead and just call Tanya on speakerphone. I just texted you there.
I don't even know if Mia can hear us.
Is it better now?
Not yet. No.
No, no. You're still frozen, then unfrozen, then frozen. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. That always happens to people on my channel, or when I've gone on other channels, I just disappear, or they do. I'm so sorry about that. Archimedes girl says that her iPhone won't hold a charge for anything. I know. And that's new. That's a new thing that's happened. I don't know if they want us all to get like the brand new iPhones and have no other choice.
So
Of course they do.
Yeah, of course they do. So they shut down capabilities like, charging necessary capabilities. I don't know. Oh, Mia. Okay, I'll take her away, even though I don't want to. And Mia, if you're here, you can hear me still. Call me, and we'll do it like that. It works out fine. I mean, let's see here. Why should we believe that Chris Watts is telling the truth? Archimedes girl. Well, because he says it, no one's going to implicate themselves for murder. You're not. No. And when he was lying, here's what he lied about. He lied about having any involvement whatsoever in their disappearance, getting himself out of trouble. Then he lied about Shanann killing babies. Again, a lie to get himself out of trouble, more trouble. And I don't think he would, do an about face and lie about his actual involvement. I don't believe he cares about Nikki that much. I don't think he cares about anyone, which is what I wanted to talk about tonight, that I believe he's a covert narcissist. When I was on Dr. B's show, she mentioned that you can't be a psychopath or sociopath without being a narcissist. And I said, well, Chris is not a narcissist. There's no way. So I thought that my diagnosis and Lena Durali's diagnosis might have been wrong. But if you're a covert narcissist, no one knows. I mean, nobody... Let's see here. What am I getting from Mia? I could add her again one more time. But nobody knows that you're a narcissist. It's kind of something that you hide. And that's what I'm thinking he is. And again, I think that he wouldn't, you're not...
Unmute.
Unmute? Am I on mute?
No, Mia is.
Oh, I can't unmute her. That happened with David before, and
she muted herself. She's got to do it. I'm texting her now.
Oh no! I know she doesn't use StreamYard, and it's a little bit much the first time you do it. And I was like thrown smack dab into the StreamYard world when I did my first appearance on Armchair Detective. That was the first place I ever went on YouTube, and that was right after Christmas, before my book was released, and I had no idea how to do it. But luckily, he has awesome moderators, and they walk me through it. But yeah, it's easy to use once you learn it. But if you're not used to it, you can make a whole bunch of mistakes. Sorry about that, Mia. But call me. Let's see here.
Okay.
What does it say? I can't read it. Oh, is it bad that Dr. B has a voice that lulls me to sleep? LOL. No, she's got a beautiful voice, doesn't she? And I can hear a trace of her accent in her voice because we're from the same country. Well, I was born here, but my relatives, my dad was from Serbia, and I recognize a trace of an accent in her voice, but I love her voice. You are correct. Thank you. Let's see here. I used to have an iPhone. I'm so glad I have an Android. I had an Android for years and years, and there were no updates needed, nothing like that. But then my family convinced me to switch to iPhone, I want to say about 15 years ago. So I did, and I don't think I could have an Android again because I'm so used to the functionality of my iPhone. What do you have? So you have an Android, don't you?
Yeah, I like Android.
I think we talked about that before.
iPhone slows your phones down, so you have to get the next model.
I think so too. I think that's what they're trying to do.
For sure.
And I'm due a new phone right now. I just don't want to leave the convenience of I think I have an 8 or something, 8S or whatever. and I love it. Except for recently when it won't hold a charge and no chargers seem to click in and start it charging. So I literally have to prop up the charger, and it's only a couple chargers in my house work for my phone anymore. So it's really bad. It's like a big conspiracy. Maybe NK did it. I'm kidding.
Come on now.
Totally kidding. We're talking about another YouTuber in chat here, and I don't want to do that again. I love
Will
all the.
you read Philly Girl's comment about how Chris was a nice guy before
Hold
all
on,
of
hold
it?
on, hold on. Mia?
Yes.
Hello, welcome back. Hold on, I've got Mia here, girls.
Thank you.
Voice. All right, can you guys hear her? Let me.
Yes. Okay, good.
Okay, we can hear. Thank you so much, Mia. I'm so sorry it was so complicated. I don't know. It might be your internet, but I've never seen you have internet problems before. So it's got to be the fact that.
Because my son's a gamer.
Oh, I always tell everybody to get off the lines or whatever, but I don't. I know they don't. My husband literally works online.
Well, I pay a lot, so they know he's not going to get off.
Oh, how funny!
I never have problems.
Kids,
So.
I swear. Well, my future son-in-law is playing video games right now. I can feel it. And then my husband does all his work online because he's a software exec, and he can't. They're not going into the office, obviously, so he's doing everything here. Kind of annoying, but whatever. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you. Sorry for the problem.
Oh, no problem at all. I understand technical difficulties because I always have them, no matter if I'm using a blow dryer. I have trouble. But so, Mia, what do you think about the Watts case? What do you believe is the correct story as far as how the murders happened and all that?
Okay. Well, first thing, the narrative, that's what always bothered me. It just doesn't add up.
Sure.
In my opinion.
Sure.
Based on the phone records, the texting, all of that, the time it would take to dig the shallow grave, as he told Tammy Lee, 30 minutes, 35. So, and in broad daylight, it just doesn't make sense that he could get this all done before Troy comes there, Melissa, chat the whole group, and he's so calm, and he's not dirty, nothing. He's not sweaty. They asked Troy that. So that doesn't add up. What
about this? In No Inclination, I said, again, I don't want to give it away, but you guys go buy my book. I don't make money. I promise you. I would make more money working for Burger King part-time. Than what I make on my books.
Yeah.
I write as a hobby. I give away more books than literally that I've sold, probably. I don't know. But thank you. In my book, I talk about how he actually was there at the site a few days earlier and dug the hole.
I think it's possible that that's what I heard too. That he did that on Saturday. He left the girls at home, and that's what he did. I personally think, all right, the cadaver dogs did not alert. Now, you have the forensic experts there on Friday after he's been arrested.
Correct.
And forensic expert, Dr. Eichelin, Boom, I think his name is, and his wife. And now there are markers. There are two in the kitchen at the threshold, where the purple room people talk about, the dining room, I suppose that is, there. And if you would draw a parallel line towards the back. So I think everything that's happening out front, there's somebody working in the back. And why I say that, all right, he walked out at 5:12 a.m.
Correct.
Now, 5:17 a.m., the garage door begins to open. And you can see he's in his truck. He wants that as an alibi. All right?
Okay.
He moves the mirror. He doesn't want her to come out because, I should say her, it looks like a
whoever, right.
And so because the light's going to turn on, she'll walk right into, or I believe it's a female that in my opinion, would walk into the camera. So that's why he did that. And he turns his lights off so the camera does not catch who it is.
Okay.
So, and it also is on the Vivint alarm. the sensor goes off at 5:27. Well, I asked, well, how did you know? Listen to me. Actually walked me through it. And
Real justice. Sorry.
yeah, and he said anybody can call Vivint, and they're really good. Somebody else did too. So the way the messages, I mean, the alerts are, they're 10 minutes after the event happens. So 5:27, and he subtracted the 10 minutes. That's 5:17. If you go to Nicole Atkinson's very first interview, she said at the neighbor Nate's house, we know at 5:17 a.m. he walks out. She thinks it's him walking out, but he already walked out at 5:12. He needs that as an alibi. He went back to see him in the truck. That's why he did that, I heard. So there's definitely a second helper. 5:18, he keeps on saying these alerts.
Right.
And I do feel, in my opinion, he was threatened, and that's the only reason he would take a plea deal, because there really wasn't anything else. And that's why he's telling these people, look, these alerts keep going off. Somebody was here after I left. 5:18, there's another one that goes off. That somebody left the basement door ajar. And then there's another one at 12:42. And to this day, they don't know why.
Wow.
22. So there's no one was still there cleaning up. But I think it's pretty safe to say everybody was in agreement with that one live stream I had. I think it was May 8th, 2020. And, you know, I can't figure this stuff out. So listen to me actually walked us through it.
Interesting. I think that Listen to Me, aka Real Justice, Ken the Kid or whatever, whoever he is, or her. I think I might be a lady. I don't know. But he reminds me of my rotten little brother either way. But
and you know, that's what I always tell you, I said, little brother.
Yeah, right. That's so funny. But I don't know. And the one thing that I saw this on a YouTube channel. I ended up watching got stuck in an endless loop of year-old YouTube shows. I don't know how. I was like, driving to my mom's, and I always play something into my Bluetooth or whatever. But someone said, "Oh, I can ramblings." Carolyn, she's a lovely lady too.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel so bad for her, right now. But I know. I can't even imagine, that sort of grief. But, yeah. So she certainly has my condolences. But she mentioned in a live from about a year ago that there was that 111-minute phone call between Chris and NK that happened on the night of the 13th. Now, what if NK dialed his number, laid it down on her kitchen counter, and then took off to go run over to Frederick and help him with something?
No.
She would ping right there in her own home, calling Chris, and that would give her an alibi. But again, I don't know. I don't know if she cared about him that much, if she knew him that well. I just don't know. I really don't. And I was watching some true crime documentary where the stepmother ended up killing a bunch of children, I think in the 90s. I don't even remember the name of the case because I watch so much stuff or listen to so much stuff when I'm, driving usually. But so I know it's possible that a woman would kill for a man she's having an affair with. But I don't know. I don't know if she would have come out with her story that quickly. I don't know, guys. I can't blame her because, again, I feel terrible for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be right. She's totally innocent. Exactly. Maybe she was only guilty past. So I mean, I looked at every angle. I thought Dr. B, though, it was a really good video that she had on ADs, and the 111-minute phone call. It wasn't like her not to text him again. She always called him or texted him.
Sure.
Nothing till 6:16 a.m. That just doesn't sound right. Was that her alibi?
Maybe.
If he leaves, and now the narrative District Attorney Works has, the girls are alive. Well, she can't be charged with that. If she's in Frederick, she's not with them at the service site.
True.
But, so that's another angle. But I do think that, and what reason? Well, she knew Shanann somehow, and it could be from the dirty South. It could be someplace like that. I was listening. No, this is a novelist, and it came up, one of the words, dirty, and it was. They were asking her, did NK? I mean, I know it's paranormal and would never hold up in court, but I do think the only reason she went after Chris Watts was to get to Shanann. She had some vendetta. It was a revenge. I think it was revenge. I don't think there's any massive plot to blow up Serby 390. I don't.
No. Okay. And I don't see, I mean, if we say that when she looked up Shanann on the internet or whatever, it was a year prior to the killings.
Yeah, it was in 2017, the summer of 2017, right?
Right.
Yes.
I mean, could it be as simple as running into a woman in the store and the woman says, "Oh, you have to try Thrive, call my friend Shanann." Could that be it? And so she Googled her? I mean, something that
Googled Shanann to start on Thrive and then became obsessed with the husband in the background?
Right, maybe. You're right, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Because somebody else made a good point. If you go back and you look at the way she dressed, she used to always wear dresses all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And makeup, but she studied him. And now she's natural. She doesn't wear, she's like the guys now. And she knows he's into cars. She becomes what she thinks he
wants. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. That is so creepy.
Go over there July 4th. Mm-hmm. Right there. Remind me of like that Fatal Attraction movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they only started really seeing each other. I mean, at least intimately after San Diego. So what was that, June 27th, June 28th,
correct.
Maybe?
Right.
About a week. I mean, that right there was kind of freaky. That she would do like a stop. But what's weird, I take everybody's perspective into this. After he's arrested, she doesn't ever contact him again. Nothing.
Yeah, I know. And see, right. I wonder if that was her trying to distance herself from the whole. I mean, imagine if your boyfriend killed his family. What would you do? I mean, I would never call him. I might call his family and Shanann's family and say, "Oh my God, I might have been part of this and didn't know it." I think I would do that because my conscience would drive. I mean, it would drive me mad knowing that other people are actually hurt. In addition to the murdered people, so.
I thought her responses were inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
She calls them kiddos even afterwards. She can never say, she doesn't want to say his wife. It just is weird. It's just not the normal response.
That's true.
Kiddo. Yeah.
But again, I wonder if she thought that by saying her name and the children's names, it might make her look as though she was more invested in that family than what she actually was. I believe she stalked them. I firmly believe that she would go and drive by and park outside and see what she could see or whatever.
I think there's I do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, if you go back to like their very first correspondence that we know of, the email, she wants what he has, what you have. I don't have it right in front of me, but basically I want what you created, this cute little, I don't know if she says girls that time, but it's if people look at that, she wants Shanann's life.
She does.
And she looks like Shanann. She's starting to
look, even
right. Nicole pointed that out. Very similar. It's really weird, but I do think she has the stalking behavior, in my opinion.
I think so too. And I have no doubt she drove by the house at 6:16 the next morning. But I think that was done because she knew Shanann had gotten in late the night before. And she wanted to see if she can catch a glimpse of Shanann up and moving with the kids or whatever, stalkers want to see. I don't know.
Yes.
But so she did drive that route instead of her regular route to work. And it just so happened that happened on the morning of the murders. And I don't know why we're not allowed. Natasha's trying her best to be able to get those phone records for Chris and for an NK and for everybody else involved in the case. And I don't know why they're not going to let her have the phone records specifically.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And why didn't they ask her that either? She was late for work. We don't know. I don't even think she did punch in that day, which is another red flag that would go up. It would make someone look like a suspect.
Sure.
It would. But they don't question her about that. They don't question her about the 6:16 a.m. phone call.
Mm-hmm. And she called Jim, I think, on that, right?
I guess he would be her alibi, but how?
Right. Well, I think.
Where did he get there?
I don't know. CW is the dumbest killer ever. I agree. I think even though I do believe he premeditated it, I don't think better screen Philly girl. I don't know what's going on. But I
think he is still guilty, whether he actually killed them or not, because something like Tammy Lee said right in the beginning, you did nothing to stop it either.
Correct. Right.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bumblebee has a phone really? Okay, maybe I'll get that one then. On a side note here, sorry. Plus, what are you talking about, Real Justice? Did you bury a body, or I rate your body higher than all others? What? Again, I'm losing.
Oh, Nicole's body? Yeah, she was smoking hot.
She had those really fat legs. I mean, God knows, my legs are the only part of me that's not fat. But she was a pretty girl, and Shanann was gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
Shanann was gorgeous. She
really
was.
Beautiful, so striking and so different looking.
I know, she had a movie star look. She really
did. Totally. And I would have loved to have her as a neighbor or a friend. I totally would have loved that.
I believe she was a true friend.
Oh yeah, everyone. Very much so. And those babies were the world to her. And I can't believe that some people still question her motherhood or her existence period. If she was a nice of course she was a nice person. She was a very nice person.
Yes, she was very nice. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But no, anyway, NK, I don't know what Real Justice was talking about, but maybe some bodies he buried. I don't know.
Try to go maybe onto Voices Behind the Wall. So.
What is it? Are you still here, Cher?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen your little thing wiggle in a while. Okay, Real Justice, you're getting the center stage again. Seriously, show me the evidence that NK was late for work. I agree with you. Oh my gosh, I agree with you.
But just because we haven't all been presented that evidence, don't you think that's something the FBI would have first looked into, was her time card?
Mm-hmm. Or if she forgot to punch in, I mean, who punches in for an office job anyway? I've never heard of that. But if
she would have been on camera somewhere or something that they would have looked at.
Especially the CCTV out in front of Anadarko, I think would have captured her. Yeah, definitely. So I think that they have looked into all of that, because if not, then why let her go? You're not going to. And if it was an ongoing investigation, it would have been wrapped up pretty tightly if her phone records and the CCTVs around the world, didn't show what they thought would exonerate her. Then there would have been a question, and it would have been an ongoing investigation from the first day, where they would do. I'm sure they'd come back and look for her hairs in the house somewhere or anything. I just don't know. Why would they not pursue it? That's what I'm saying.
But there is way too much that I don't understand of the case either. Like, why was there rubber gloves on the bed in the basement? Why was Chris so concerned about the fridge temperature?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, weird stuff like that.
It can be as simple as the fact that a force of habit that, Shanann had bought him a bunch of food before she went on her trip, on her North Carolina trip. Perhaps it was drilled into his head, make sure the temperature stays good on the refrigerator. And as a nervous habit, he was just worried about that. I don't know.
But I would think if you're being questioned for massacring your entire family, the last thing I'm worried about is the temperature of my fridge, right?
Unless you're a sociopath and you have no real emotions.
I guess that's true too.
You only know tasks that you need to complete, or you only know facts. You don't know how you're supposed to behave emotionally. And that was, again, one thing that I wanted to talk about here today was that I do believe he's a covert narcissist. And definitely. Because as a covert narcissist, you cover up your narcissism and you pretend like you're the victim all the time, or you pretend like you're this humble, sweet guy, and you're not. And I firmly believe he kept up that act his entire life, which is we can't blame his family. His mother raised a beautiful, lovely daughter who is not a narcissist, and she's not a sociopath. So we can't blame his family. No one saw it coming. People are born with that. And it's a genetic thing, I'm assuming. I watched, I forget who had it on. It was somewhere on YouTube. A young man who was also had antisocial personality disorder, which is what a sociopath or a psychopath, that is the official term now in the DSM, whatever it is. But he said that he had no real emotions. And when people would tell him that, oh, my grandmother died over the weekend, he would mimic what he thought was the proper emotions. So this young man is brilliant. And he said, I just pretty much don't have friends. I have a couple that are my close friends, and that's all I need because I don't know what I'll do to other people. If Chris would have only realized, I think he was aware of that he wasn't the same as other people.
Do you think Chris ever killed animals then in his past?
No, because that doesn't have to go along with it. I feel
like it usually does.
Sometimes it does, sure. But some sociopaths don't ever kill anything. They don't kill people, they don't kill animals, they don't kill anything. They just exist with the mask on their entire lives and no one knows. So if you're
you notice the only emotion he has, it's embarrassment. That's the only thing.
Sure. When he's going to be humiliated, he feels that. An unpleasant feeling, at least. Not necessarily anything as deep as embarrassment, but hold on.
Because it's all about appearances.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
That's true. He always seemed very, shy in the background when she was doing YouTube, and then he would get super embarrassed and red like a tomato. That's really the only thing you would see with him.
It's
otherwise he was quiet.
And when he said, do you want us to call somebody from work so they can go out to the site? No, they're not going to think much of me already.
Right.
And, so that's the only thing I ever see and Chris. That's just embarrassment.
No, I know.
I think he would not even want to go to trial because he'd be embarrassed.
Oh, I'm sure. Right. It would be look bad on him. He couldn't keep up the mask, and I think that's when they break. When you reveal what's under that mask. Teresa, hi, Dr. B. Megan,
hi, Dr. B.
That some of those details that were in the timeline and discovery are irrelevant, like the temperature picture, but then the important parts are nowhere to be found. Yeah, you're right, Dr. B. See, what that almost means to me is that they've cleared NK in every possible way, and that some of the phone records would add to that proof. But why would they want people to, unless the phone records kind of implicate her, but they sort of cleared her, completely with alibis or, cameras or something. I don't know. So they don't want the public to think that she did it because her phone actions look suspicious. I don't know. But I wouldn't think.
It never makes sense to me why the FBI and all of these big people looking into her would just let her walk when a whole family is murdered. Why would they just let Nicole walk?
They wouldn't. And I think it was Dr. B who suggested that she might have immunity, which means that she was there. No, you wouldn't give immunity for an accessory to murder. You'd give, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think she took an immunity?
I asked somebody about that, and they still no, she doesn't have immunity. I did find something on the internet. I don't have where if she can still be arrested, but at this time she's not the suspect or something.
Okay.
And actually, there is a petition, ironically, because many the people, what is under change.org, investigate Nicole Kessinger. It's right there. So I just see that now. There's 5,892 have signed.
Wow.
I just found that
interesting, and I don't think that, because if they already know and they've, sealed up the case, and NK didn't have anything to do with it, and one thing that gets me too is the Rusek family. Frank Rusek says that he knows the entire case. He knows what's in those, basically, more or less, he said that. He knows everything about the case, and he wants us to stop talking about NK. Now, why would the victims' parents and grandparents tell everyone to drop it, she wasn't involved, unless they've been given a whole lot of proof that she wasn't involved?
I think, I think they've been threatened.
Really?
Even when they said it, even Frankie Jr. said it on Dr. Phil. Whoever threatens the victim's family. Did anybody ever hear of a victim's family been threatened before?
No, but I'm sure they get a lot of hate mail. The Watts family certainly does, and I'm pretty sure the Ruseks would too. People have received death threats over far less than being I believe that even Carolyn, Mommy Ramblings, was getting a lot of terrifying threats, including death threats when she just, when she started her YouTuber, when she began talking about the Watts case. And she's the sweetest lady I've ever seen. I don't know why, but it is possible that crazy true crime fans wrote to them and said, threaten them in some way.
Oh my God.
I think that might be what it is, which is horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think both families are victims, and can you imagine being the Watts family and getting all this hate from everywhere? I don't know. But
Mia, what do you think about Chris's phone sent Shanann's phone a picture of that doll laying on the couch with a white sheet covering it, like a body being covered? What do you think about that? Why was that sent? What the hell was that?
Dr. B, I just watched that, actually. Brilliant. No, it was, I get chills. It was sent from Shanann's phone by the order of images. That was, I believe, the conclusion of Dr. B. And that's, I think Bella, she had a dream already that Celeste was dead or something. And I think she even told the babysitter. I didn't actually find that yet, the actual conversation she had. But I feel Bella was psychic. I think she was showing this is what's going to happen, and she showed it by doing that. I think Bella did cover the doll.
And in No Inclination, thank you for bringing that up, but in my book, Bella definitely is a psychic. She's definitely intuitive, and the whole time she is dreading the bad night. And that's exactly how I played her in the book. Yeah. Interesting. We both have that theory, but I know. Yeah.
Here's something else. I think I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Baby monitor. Sometimes I feel like I'm guided to certain things.
Sure.
And so I was guided. If you look at the baby monitors and the model, if they had that particular model, I can't remember the number, 28640 maybe. If you look at it, it had the ability to record if you wanted it to record. It had the ability to take a picture while they're sleeping. Why didn't Chris Watts take a picture from the camera on the baby monitor while they were sleeping?
I don't know.
There's something weird about that. 7:50 p.m. Shanann calls, and she's being really, really sweet because she wants to work on her marriage. She's look, everybody makes mistakes, yeah, and I don't think she really made that many mistakes. So she's being kind, and she's not demanding. She just wants a picture. And you must be exhausted. So how's Bella? Bella's in bed. Doesn't say anything about Celeste. Why wasn't she in bed? Now, this is where I think the refrigerator, and it's really creepy to say, but I feel it's very possible she was murdered in the refrigerator.
Oh,
Wow.
that's kind of what I thought too. I definitely thought there was a body in that fridge.
Wow. Maybe. I don't know. And
I mean, I don't know 100%, but it was just weird.
And I've heard that before too, that he did in fact try to kill both girls, and only Bella made it out of that first attempt alive. That's entirely possible.
Hmm.
And why would he put Cece in the refrigerator though, thinking they were both dead? I don't know.
He's trying usually if you keep the body temperature cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the murder time. Yeah, for the timeline. I
see what you mean. Okay.
Okay, so another question. Shanann was married before Chris, right?
I'm sorry.
Shanann was married before Chris Watts, right?
She was. Yeah.
Okay. Why did she, even at the time of death, she had credit cards still that she was charging stuff on in her maiden name, in her Watts name, and in her ex-husband's name. Also a military credit card. Who was in the military?
I don't know. Was her brother? I don't know.
I don't know, but one of the credit card things, a sidekick actually that I'll send you later, Tanya,
cool,
showed me something, and one of the credit cards, it's actually a military-based credit card. So you have to be in the military to get that specific credit card.
Yeah, her ex-husband wasn't in the military. I don't know much about him, only his name. But was he in the military? Can we look that up?
That's something I found a little interesting. It was a good question, I thought.
Wouldn't that be great to get to interview him?
Right.
Let's all fight over it. Let's try to get him.
How come they didn't interview her alibi, Jim?
I bet they did. And I'm hoping Natasha can bring that home if she, she grabs it in the Discovery. I'm hoping she gets a lot more stuff. I really am. And I think if anyone can do it, she can. Hi again, Dr. B. Innuendo, no, you didn't, because we have his GPS records. You have been misinformed. I don't know. Again, I'm missing the chat. I'm so sorry. And I don't know what we're talking about above. Okay, Mom Bear, her ex-husband was military. Okay, she believes. That's good enough for me. We could find out. We could probably find out a lot about him. Let's see. So Daybell kills a raccoon during the day, and everyone thinks it's suspicious, but the photo of a temperature of a freezer before is irrelevant. You're correct. That's, I always have rose-colored glasses, and I don't go to the, deep, dark crevices where some of these criminals live. So I always think that the simplest answer is going to be the correct answer, especially in this case. But maybe he killed baby Cece much earlier in the evening. And
what if he take a picture of the temperature of the refrigerator?
I don't know.
He's not capable of figuring out things like that.
I don't know. I really.
He's like the type of, is this the right temperature? Yeah. So if they had a conversation, he would have to have that validated.
Sure. Okay. I know what you mean.
The dogs bark around the refrigerator in the basement.
I know they did.
The only thing that bothers me.
And I remember,
the final, the cadaver dogs do not make that final alert. So technically, no deaths in the house, no deaths, no cadavers outside. So he didn't drag any bodies where people are looking. And I think that was all distraction, was happening in the back.
Where do you think Shanann was killed then?
I feel like it was in the bathroom.
Really? I know. I got a creepy feeling.
I think at Real Justice, I believe he is right. It was near the sofa in the dining room where you'll see like those yellow markers in the kitchen right at the threshold. That's where I felt she was killed.
Really?
In my opinion, I think when the garage door opened, Bella's a light sleeper, and A has already said it. Chris said it. That's why he walked out the front door that day. Somebody opened the garage door. That woke Bella up, and Shanann would also get an alert. And I think when she came downstairs, that was what happened. It happened down there.
Okay.
It's easier to take her out from down there.
Wow. And then when did he has grabbed the bed sheets and
But he has it very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. One more thing that I don't understand that it just hit me the other day regarding the bed sheets and all that. Okay, let's say she did die in the bed, which I think, but that's just me. And he wrapped her up in a sheet and put her on the ground and whatever. Why would you fling your comforter and a bunch of pillows over into the corner like that, like far away from the bed? Why would you, even if you are a killer, would you not just let them fall on the floor? Why would you put them all over in a corner? Did anyone ever think about that? Like, what action, unless he was in a fit of rage, but then he'd be throwing everything willy-nilly around the room. He wouldn't pile it all in a corner by a dresser that has a TV on it. And that's all the way across the room. There was like one or two pillows near the bed, back in the corner by the blue gloves. But the rest of the stuff was literally thrown on the ground, like far away from the bed. What does that mean?
They wanted to keep it clean so he could, I don't know, maybe they would look to see if he had the same bedding. They wouldn't notice the sheets missing, but he had the same like pillow shams and comforter maybe. I don't know. That is weird
why
too.
So far away from, how does it, if you're worried about dragging out a dead body, you'd have to pick up, it looked like they had a heavy comforter. You'd have to pick it up and carry it way over to the corner there.
It was expensive and he didn't want to ruin it.
Oh, maybe he, oh my gosh, what if he took all the bedding off before he strangled her so that he wouldn't cause any trouble to the rest of the bedding? I know.
So he only had a set of sheets he had to get rid of.
He didn't get her to relieve herself. There's inconsistencies with this statement as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because I went through the autopsy and he didn't break the blood vessels in her eye.
Correct.
They were not red. Right. So he does not know what really happened. And she may have been thinking, forgive them for they know not what they do. And I thought that just really stuck. So he's not innocent, but he may not have killed her. I do think somebody else was there. He can hear everything when Nicole Atkinson, sets the alarm off, talking to the police.
Sure.
And of course he's going to take his time. Somebody's still in that house because 1242, that's in the Discovery Files. I think it was under Dave Brownhatter, under the Discovery File.
And I think Nicole Atkinson was still there. Have we actually watched? Oh, it wouldn't be in the police studio.
She went to the doctor's office at that time.
Okay.
That was confirmed.
Wow. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
I feel somebody had to be in there for them to get out.
You're right. You're right.
I wish I could find the page for you right now. I will. I'll try.
I'm reading the comments. Forgive me if I'm fading away here. The kids weren't in his plan. Hold on. True crime, truth seeker. Correct me. He conspired Shanann's murder. The kids were not in his plan. What do you think about that? The kids were, an afterthought, or someone else killed the kids? I don't know.
Bella woke up. I heard the kids were not supposed to be killed.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Right. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I think that if Bella wouldn't have woken up, he could literally just leave them in the house and do what he had to do with Shanann's body. And have someone find the kids there alone later. He knew they wouldn't get into too much trouble because they're good little girls. Maybe Cece would climb on stuff, but I don't, if Bella didn't wake up, I don't know. I don't know. Wow. I mean, he may have let them live. I don't know. Unless,
I don't believe Charlene Cadell's letters. I don't believe he wrote that.
I don't think so either. She lied in half the stuff. I think some of it's real and more than half of it's fake from Sherilyn. But
however, the letter has been verified to be in his handwriting. It was on Daily Mail or whatever.
Yeah, I heard that too. Like Dr. Oz.
Yeah, he said he was holding it, and it's definitely his handwriting. Yeah.
But why? It's because you wrote a book. I wrote a book. I put pictures in there.
Sure.
It's not that hard. And when she actually paid somebody to do her book, I did mine myself. She just had to change the DPI. You can actually see that's his handwriting. But we don't know.
But I know that when I went to put letters in my in the Great Ghost to Grey Gardens, letters from Edie Bouvier-Beale, her family would not allow us to put her letters, even though these were written to the woman I wrote the book for, the woman who co-authored it with me. They wouldn't allow us to use the actual letters, so we couldn't because it was illegal. But Sherilyn put the body of the letter in her book, which if Chris was saying, you can't, Chris has copyright. He has copyrights to the book, to everything he writes. You do, and I do, everybody does. Even if it's an email, you have the copyright to that email.
Exactly.
But if that were the case, you would not be able to print the letter in its entirety, even if they don't show the physical letter. I don't know why they didn't put the letter. If they had permission to print the letter in the book at all, the content of the letter, they would have also had, but maybe they didn't own they couldn't get the image. They couldn't own the image. I don't know.
Sherilyn told me that there's one specific thing. She won't tell me what, but I have the emails. She told me there's one letter that, because she's got a new book coming out because of the whole lawsuit issue with the other one, whatever. But she said it's going to have more of the letters in there, but there's one specific letter that Chris said she is not ever allowed to put in the book.
Okay.
And that makes me super curious. But yeah, he definitely told her there was one letter that she's not allowed to use.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's some kind of suicidal thing or, I think that might be what it is. Perhaps. I don't,
You think someone like Chris would actually get suicidal?
No, they're narcissists. The whole thing is all about themselves, and
right.
Yeah, he likes himself far too much to do that, I think. But I can tell you, this man is very convincing. Even in his sermon on the porch, he looked guilty. A lot of us saw he was guilty, but for a man that guilty, he did a bang up job of trying to fool some people.
It's like forensic psychologist. I think his name was Dr. Wachtel. If I remember, Wachtel.
Sure.
He said he would have to be such a great liar to pull that off. And he dissected that interview.
I saw that. I don't know where would have been on YouTube, or was it in a documentary?
Yeah,
okay.
It is on YouTube.
Okay.
So I don't get that.
No, I don't.
He said, "Well, you're a really bad liar."
Oh, definitely. And I know that Tammy may have lied to him about that. I almost, and again, in the book, I have the lie detector test going a little bit differently than the official version. And as police, as law enforcement, they can say, you failed the test when you didn't. They can also say you're a bad liar when his lies were actually very what do you want to call it? Unrevealing. The fact that he could lie about certain things and it wouldn't register on the lie detector test at all, on the polygraph. So they could have told him you're a bad liar, and that wasn't even true. It could have been that she was trying to scare him. So it may even be that the polygraph came out that he didn't lie about anything except for maybe one or two questions, but they had the right to tell him you failed, because they do anything they can to get a confession.
Right.
I don't think he did wrongly confess initially when he said that Shanann killed the kids. No, she didn't. No. But anyway, they
why would he lie to his dad? After the confession to the investigators, he asked for his dad. Was it Ron? Is that his name? Ron?
Ronnie, right. No, but he did it before. He talked to his dad, and then when they jumped in, when Tammy and the other guy jumped in there, it was because Ronnie said, I'm going to hire you a lawyer, son. And so they went,
Okay.
they zoomed right back in, and then they got the confession from Chris that he killed Shanann. So it was
Right.
after he talked to his dad that he actually came forward with that confession. And that's entirely possible, or it would have been, if the scenario wasn't so stupid. But, again, there's been many, many, many women what's that woman, Sarah Henderson? This happened recently in the last couple of years. Or that other woman, what was her name? Oh, God, Christy something or other. She shot her 2 teenage girls in the middle of the street because her husband was going to leave them or whatever. And, they did. That other woman, Sarah Henderson or whatever, she went into the living room. Her kids were laying there watching TV, and she shot 2 little girls in the head and then woke up her husband and said, I just shot the kids. So it happens, certainly. But I think we would have seen some warning signs in Shanann, depression or whatever. And no one in her life said that she had any of those qualities at all. And the fact that she said, I can't do this alone, raising 3 kids on my own, that was her trying to get Chris to feel, bad for her, and try to, wake up and realize that he's not fulfilling his duties as a dad or a husband at the moment. Some people take that to mean that Shanann was suicidal because she said that she can't do this on her own. No. You say that when you're trying to wake up your, bum of a husband to help you.
Financially, because Colorado was very expensive.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And she couldn't do it on her own, certainly. That makes sense. But I think Chris planned on blaming Shanann. Oh, maybe. Hold on. I think Chris planned on blaming Shanann from the beginning because of that letter he wrote in I know, we can't ignore that letter.
That letter, yeah.
What is up with that letter? I mean, that looks like premeditation to me.
Well, we all thought he premeditated it at least a week in advance, right?
I think so.
I think that's something everybody actually can agree on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I thought as much as a month before, but, I could be wrong about that.
I think like maybe 2 weeks, yeah.
Maybe. Maybe. And he did say to Tammy and Coder and Baumhover in the interview in Wisconsin that he woke up that morning and he knew it was going to happen and he couldn't stop himself. So he at least premeditated it at the beginning of the day, I think. I don't know. But the letter had nothing. See, the letter.
Wasn't it the letter in Shirley Cadell's book?
No, the letter. We're talking about the letter that he wrote and left it with his parents. That said that if anything,
I know that one. Like if anything happened,
blame my wife, and I would never hurt my children.
Yes. But the other letter, when he put them to bed that night and said, "This will be the last time I will be tucking them in."
Right.
I think that came from Shirley Cadell's book because I have her book.
Sure. Yes, so do I.
And like I said, I don't know if the letters really are authentic from him. I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, again, I think it was Dr. Oz who said, I'm holding the letters and they are authentic. So they're not going to lie, I mean, and I think the Daily Mail actually.
I'm just surprised they would release something so, they were so horrible.
I'm not sure what I believe from any media, including a talk show, doctor's talk show thing.
Right. I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, the pain inflicted on the Russo, it's horrible. And I'm really surprised that they would allow them to go through that again. I really am.
I know. And I don't, and again, I go back to, that they wouldn't be begging us to stop trying to add accomplices to the whole thing if they didn't know for a fact that their daughter was killed and their grandchildren by her husband. I would certainly never do it. And even if I can't imagine a big web of, baddies out there protecting, trying to kill everyone in Chris's life if he doesn't say he did it all by himself. Organized crime like that doesn't really happen in a small town of Frederick, Colorado, I don't think. I mean, it's too complicated and it's too confusing. Sure, NK might have been involved. That, that isn't unheard of, but I don't see it. But she could have been. But I don't think there's a whole bunch of people out there Yeah.
It's just you have to look at how did she know Shanann?
Yes.
In September 2017. I think this is where we need answers.
We do.
And they're not providing them.
We do.
And that's people start conspiracies that way.
And I would love to get a hold of NK, right, Cher?
Yeah.
But
I hear she has blonde hair now.
Oh, that's what that's funny. Yeah, that was in my book too. But yeah, I mean, she does have, plain features. And she could probably, throw on a wig or change her hair color, put on glasses, and no one would know, who she is, I think. But like with someone like Casey Anthony, when she tried to do that, you could easily recognize it was her. I've got a problem with facial recognition. I know that, is it Brad Pitt or is it somebody else? But it's called like Proplesier, something like that. But if I don't know what your face looks like until I see it like 20 times, and then I'll look for moles or I'll look for indicators that it's you. It's a very common condition for people to have. It was horrible when I worked in retail as a teenager because a customer would come up and say, "Do you remember me?" And if she's changed her dress or whatever, I don't recognize her, or her hairdo or whatever. So where was this going? I have no idea. What did I start talking about that for?
I probably went in New York City. People walk down the street famous all the time. They just don't look famous.
Sure.
Because
they don't look like who they are.
Without the makeup.
Right. You look very different in stage makeup than you do in real life. Absolutely. Although I used
Casey's got them damn tattoos though that gives her away.
Who does?
Casey Anthony.
Oh, I know. Oh, but there's something about her eyes, like they're frog-like or whatever, that kind of, I would always see. Again, that would be a point that I would look for, some weird thing about your eyes or about your nose or whatever that I can remember. But that's weird. It's a very common, it's a common occurrence. A lot of people have that condition. I know my dear friend Lois Wright has it too, the woman who we wrote the book together for, the Ghost of Grey Gardens. And she has that issue as well. And I thought that was kind of funny that we both have that issue. But yeah, it's interesting. But I would know Casey Anthony because of the uncommon look in her face. But Nicole Kessinger looks pretty plain. There's nothing I would grab onto to remember her face, basically. I don't know what I'm talking about. That went on far too long.
She really does.
She does. So if she cut her hair, dyed it blonde, put on 20 pounds, lost 20 pounds, whatever, you're not going to know who she is. You're right. So that would have been easy for her to get away. Why did they leave that Google search in the discovery? That is something, I don't know. Unless she explained it and she pointed out, this friend told me to contact Shanann. She's my local contact for Thrive, and I really wanted to start it. And they talked to that friend. She said, "Oh yeah, Shanann was my friend, Nikki was my friend, so I tried to put them together." That's possible that she had a perfectly good explanation for it, and they researched it, and so they just left it in. Right.
Yeah. And so she may, again, that doesn't make her guilty of anything.
Oh no. But it does look odd, with everything else.
Now, is this true, or did you hear that? Is this woman Anna? I don't know who she is. She visits Chris Watts.
She does, right?
Is she with them, pregnant? There are rumors that start, and I don't know.
No, she has a husband, and she's very happily married, and they do have children. One of her daughters looks exactly like Celeste. I don't know why. Very weird.
Okay, that's weird.
That is weird. But the daughter would have been born while Chris was maybe not while he was in prison. But she's a very religious lady. Her and her husband together go visit him quite often. Seems like a nice lady, but it's part of his, rebirth as a Christian man type thing, and that's where she comes in. I agree with Tanya. He did it on his own. He annihilated his family to be with his mistress. Thank you, juror number 4. I think so too.
The only reason I'm going to say something about that,
sure.
I just don't see how he could at the time. If they did a reenactment, I'd like to see it carried out. And
right.
That really
like they did with the John Benet's brother. They got to reenact that.
You're right.
On the timeline. Yes. That would be very interesting, actually.
I would
Good
love to
one,
have
Mia.
We should probably get a group together, talk to some of the ladies we know from Unmasked or True Crime in Colorado who actually live in that area. Maybe we could all take a road trip or whatever out there and participate in the reenactment.
Yeah, that would be
I just don't
great.
want to play NK's part.
Oh, man.
I'll be Bella. No, I'm kidding. Aw. But no, that would be an interesting thing to do because you're right. We could get the timeline down and see how long it would take to our whoever's doing. I wonder if the police have thought of that, trying that. But then again,
Unless
no.
they're leaving it for some anniversary televised special, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. We should do that. Oh my gosh.
That does sound fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know Vanessa lives, in Colorado, so maybe we could talk to her about getting that started. I don't know, but that's fascinating. I wish we could.
And then actually drive from the Watts' house to Nicole's work and see exactly how many minutes is it.
Sure. And then not only that, start from her house and drive the way that she would drive through Frederick and then drive the other direction. I think the other direction saves like 3 miles for her in her commute.
Right.
So that's why people are wondering why she went through Frederick, but she could have wanted to go to that McDonald's there because her and Chris had gone there. It could have been anything. But I think it was because she stalked the family and she wanted to drive by his house to see if Shanann really was home and if she was up and moving around with the kids or whatever. And to make sure that, and one thing I do wonder that is fascinatingly weird, why did NK ask Chris to send her something to prove that he was really at Servi 319? Unless, again,
yes.
Yeah, unless she was suspicious that he was actually with his wife and children all day and not really at the oil site.
She also thought that that he was cheating with other people too. She said that all along, that she didn't feel like she was the first or only person.
Right, like Trent
that
or
he had cheated on.
Right. I think that's possible. I really do. I think it's possible that he dated both Trent and Amanda, that he met with them at least a few times. I really think that's possible. Because they have such a similar story, and NK even said, a lot of what Trent says lines up exactly with her experience with him.
Right.
So who knows? I mean, he might have been having affairs left and right.
I think it was too convenient. In my opinion, it was too convenient to I think she didn't know him. I think to take the heat off of her, okay, here comes Trent. Nowhere.
Sure. And I've heard that story before too.
And then he said he met the kids. Well, and that was, somebody else made a good point. Children, they don't lie. They're very interested.
Right.
I mean, they're going to say, oh, we met so-and-so with Daddy. It's going to come out if they have.
No, but then again, think about that. If your 4-year-old comes home and said, we met Daddy's friend today. Oh, was it a woman? No, it was a boy. What could that do? Nothing. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why he never introduced the kids to NK, because, the kids would go home and say, Daddy's lady friend was really pretty or whatever. But meeting a man, that wouldn't be where Shanann's head goes first, that he's having an affair with a man.
Did you hear that interview? It's on Thunder.
Which one?
When they interview NK about going in the house, she said she did not go in the playroom, but she had to from the interview. You couldn't see the books from the playroom unless you walked in. That's the way I heard it. So she lied about that. And they asked her, "Did you meet the kids? Did you want?" No, I didn't want to meet the kids.
Right.
It's how she said it, and it sounded really bad. So she kind of corrected herself, like, "No, not
not yet." Right.
Something 6 months, going somewhere.
Right. And I don't know.
Why would she say she deleted everything? Why would she tell Chris to delete everything if she was innocent? She has nothing to hide. Why?
Well, because she might have, and again, I cover this in the book, but it's very likely that she wrote him things like, I can't wait till you're, rid of your ball and chain. Are you going to do it tonight? Meaning, are you going to tell her you wanted separation tonight, where it may come across looking like she wanted him to kill them. And I can imagine her giving him ultimatums through text saying either get rid of her or get rid of me, type of thing, which would make her look very guilty when it was nothing more than saying, I want you to get a separation from your wife right now.
Right. Everything he was promising her.
Exactly.
But doesn't it still look guilty when you delete all the cell phone records and then they still check the computer? And then she also was Googling about how long, or can they find deleted text messages? To me, that looks even guiltier. If you have nothing to hide, yeah, this is what all I've been guilty of. I just had an affair with a married man. That's it.
Well, that's true. Again, unless there are a lot of really incriminating looking texts in there saying things like, I can't wait till you're rid of her. Or,
Right.
we're going to start our own life as soon as you get rid of that family, type of thing. That would probably scare a young woman into saying, oh my God, I've got to delete it all.
She was 31 years old.
Right.
And I should only say it like that. District Attorney Rourke, he started an affair with a younger woman. She was 21, a little bit naive. She was 31.
Right, you're right.
Watts is 33.
You're right.
And Shanann is, 34? Mm-hmm. That's no younger woman.
No, not really.
That's the woman there. Sorry.
You're right. She wasn't in her 20s. Yeah, you're right. But she seemed very childlike in a lot of ways. Just listen to her talking.
I think she had issues, like he said. Probably bipolar. I mean, I don't know for sure.
Well, I think so, because Chris explained how she would, go off the deep end, or he had to talk her down off a ledge or whatever. And
she took medication.
So I bet she threw tantrums and all kinds of crazy stuff. I really think that's possible.
What do you think about the room, Shannon's office being in disarray?
Well, here's my thing. I think I have OCD with my house cleaning. Everything's always, in its place and cleaned and spotless. And I'm terrified if someone walked into my house and I didn't vacuum that day. But my bathroom and my husband and my bedroom, the master bath, is filthy. I've got clothes all over the place and makeup here, whatever. That is my one corner where I think, I don't have to be OCD.
But it probably isn't that bad if anybody else saw it. But
exactly, but you don't know. You think that it's horrible, But
Shanann's office was horrible.
Yeah, it was. That's kind of like my bathroom upstairs, And it's the one place where you can actually free everything that's in your mind and let the rest of the house, be part of your OCD tendencies. Because there's got to be one corner. Oh, I'm losing everybody. Cher, come back. But yeah, there's one corner where, no, I don't like my big ugly face.
That's a good point.
No, exactly. So I think that's what she did, perhaps, with her little space in her office.
Did you see the picture? Whose cell phones are they? There's one with the pink case and one with the blue case in the office.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even know about the cell phones. I know that they had, I don't know. I know they had one extra cell phone that they came across in the basement that was Chris's work phone or whatever you want to call it. That's what he called it. I don't know. I mean, she wouldn't have their share. She wouldn't have phones for her kids quite yet. Even I waited till my daughter was like 9 to get a cell phone. But hi, Cher, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, good. Yeah, we lost you. Sorry about that.
See what happens when I try to check the chat.
Oh no, does it really? That doesn't happen. If you look, when NK was messaging Kobach, she sent him some screenshots she had recovered from her phone of her and CW. NK sent CW the message, "Are we bad people?" Okay. Why would she ask that? She knew everything. Okay, well, if you're a regular girl, lady, whatever you want to call, people over 30, and you are having your first and only affair with a married man, you're going to question whether or not you're a good person. I mean, I think if you have a real real emotions and you're not also a sociopath, you're going to say, oh my God, what are we doing? Are we bad people? I
Oh,
would.
yeah.
You know, I
Did she have
certainly
an
would.
affair with a married man before?
Did she? I don't know.
That'd be news to me if that's true, but yeah.
I don't know for a fact. I can't prove that right now.
Oh, you know that she did have an affair with a married man. Wow.
I've heard that, but I don't know if it's true.
Sure, it might be. It might be. People put out rumors that she had been married previously too, and when they asked her about it, she was like, "Who's that? I don't know that guy." What are you? And you're not going to do that if they can look in marriage records and find out that you were married to the guy that you say you don't know.
Was it Sean, her ex-boyfriend?
I think Sean was her ex-boyfriend, right?
Was he married?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, maybe. I don't know. What was the reason why she didn't want to tell Charlotte much of her story with Chris? Was that because Charlotte had dated that's what it was. Charlotte dated a married man previously. And she didn't want her to say, oh, Nikki, you're doing it. Same thing I did, same mistake I made. So yeah, I don't know.
She does talk to Charlotte. She goes, yeah, I think he likes me.
Mm-hmm.
And on Sunday, when Chris is at the party, a birthday party,
right?
He said, but he's all about his kids. And Charlotte's like, well, you're going to have to go back to high school because basically you're not going to find anyone at your age that has had something, children or has been married, so forth. So she's, I think that, I guess that's good. She's all about his kids. I guess that's good.
Exactly. And that, right. And I think that.
And the other thing, Kovac, this is what he was really worried about because she was going to be a witness.
Correct. Right.
Did you go on that dating site? Because she had signed up for the one dating site. And she was using that to Chris by, I think, July 14th when she went over there. And I think she knew she was pregnant.
Right.
So she was on a dating and that she was playing him.
Oh, sure.
Right. Enough to push him over, the edge of killing his family. Like, I'm not going to be with you because you're still with your family. Mm-hmm. And that was the big concern Kovac had, and it's the interview.
Right, and I'm sure a sociopath. Okay, first of all, they can't take social cues properly. So she said, "I wish you'd get rid of your family." Maybe he just went right out and thought, "Well, I better get rid of my family so I can have this new one." And what she meant was get a divorce, you idiot.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I think so.
She gave him a key, and that may have been another reason. Like, what do you do now? I got a key to her apartment.
Oh, true.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been, I mean, that would not be her fault if he decides to. But again, I just don't see the time. Plus, there's another person there. They walk out. You can see it clear as day.
To me, that looks like Chris Watts. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It looks just like him. You can see his receding hairline. And
I don't know who they are. Okay,
sure.
Like 5:12, he walks out of the front door. He's in the truck. You can see movement in the truck. He's still parked out front.
Right.
And I mean, I can show that. And then 5:17, the garage opens and somebody else walks out.
No, that was when they were looping it. Okay, watch it. Oh, then I don't know. I'm sorry. I will look. I will look again. Thank you.
And it's also on the Vivint alarm. He is very good with that. I have to give this to real justice, whatever he's going by now.
Right. Whoever he is today.
He's dead on. I mean, it's a brilliant find.
Oh, definitely. Okay, I'll look at that. I will definitely look at it again because I may be very wrong. Obviously, will admit.
It doesn't matter like what they look like because to me it just looks like pixels. I can't tell.
I know you can't tell what they look like. Yeah. But whenever I've watched it, and I talked to Alan or AD about this too, that when I watch it the full stream and don't freeze the photograph, you can see at points his receding hairline. You can see the everything. You can see it being Chris, during every other frame. And then he walks out to his car, which to me, it looks like he clicked the clicker on his, key fob or whatever, and that will turn on. That it does with my cars. It turns on your lights and your running lights.
He doesn't have. It's a keyless system.
Probably. Most new car. All of ours are the keyless.
He has to walk around the truck and check to see if everything's working properly. There's no keys.
Oh,
Real Justice. He's in. I don't know if he's in your chat.
He is. He's always here.
Yeah, he has all that information, and probably he can explain it better than I can.
Have you been blocked, Real Justice? I don't.
I can block it just for this.
Put user in. No, okay. Hold on. Where are you? Real Justice. I am pulling you up again. You think they planned this on the phone and text, and NK became surprised the cops showed up when a pregnant woman or two? Maybe. Again, I'm open to any interpretation. It's just not what I see.
He knows 512. He walks out the front door.
Okay. I will watch that again. I will definitely.
Who just asked that? Hang on. Who? Maxine 2002 said, why did NA go so fast to check on her? Her son was totally suspicious of Chris. It was so obvious. I always wonder too, so like if one of my friends, if I dropped her off at 2:14 in the morning, I don't think I would assume something crazy happened and she's missing and something really bad happened like 6 hours later or whatever it was, maybe 10 hours later.
No, but here's what I think had to do with that. Shanann was very sick and very depressed and whatever on that weekend trip, and she wasn't eating or anything, and she had this massive migraine. I think Nicole might have said, hey, do you want one of my migraine pills or one of my stronger, migraine pills to get through this plane trip or whatever? And Shanann took it, and NA was, as a typical housewife who has given away a narcotic drug to a friend, would think that, oh my God, did I kill her? And will I be arrested for giving her one of my pain pills?
Shanann didn't strike me as the type that would do anything like that, especially when pregnant. I don't know.
True. No.
I don't think, they don't just hand them out like candy. Not back in 2018.
Sure.
She had a reason to have, I don't think she had a reason to have pain pills for anything.
I don't know. I don't know what she might have arthritis or whatever. Or I really don't know. I don't know. God knows I had arthritis in my late 20s. Yeah. So, you never know.
Well, I got hit by a truck and trailer. They're not getting them out.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh my God. Right. Exactly. But or maybe it was her husband's and, she brought along one pill for, migraines that she gets or whatever. There are different kind of migraine medicines. My husband takes like a monthly injection or whatever for his.
But Shanann did have a legal prescription for that.
Migraine pills, right? Yes. But I'm wondering if Nicole gave her a Xanax or something that she had in her purse,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's true.
And then she might think, oh my God, I've killed her, and she, wandered away all drunk on my Xanax and took her kids with her. I bet Nicole was worried about her state of mind the day after she gave her some.
All right, now here's another thing. It'll make you think.
Sure.
If you look at Shanann walking up to the house, look at her suitcase. Is that really going to fit in the overhead compartment?
I've got one too. That's the one I carry on my trips, and then I also carry a giant purse.
And then look at the one inside the house. That one's much smaller.
The one that's that's sitting in the living room by the stairs? Yes,
they took pictures of what was inside of it, and there's not that much in there.
I don't know, but when the carry-on, the luggage that I saw her bring up to the house. If you look at her from further away, it looks normal carry-on size. Right. So I think that was just
But if you stop at 3 seconds, you'll see it was huge. And then one video, you'll see she's carrying some long thing. It's some other tote she's carrying. It's around her other arm, like that's
right, because you're allowed to. No, you're allowed I do that for a 3-day trip. Trust me. Ask my husband. I carry a giant.
I did a lot of flying. I just don't think that suitcase they will allow. That's not going to fit in the overhead compartment. The one inside the house would, but not that one. And many people feel the same way, but they brought it to my attention.
Interesting. I'll look at that again too. Thank you.
I don't know 100%. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. But from what I saw her dragging up, I didn't even think anything of it. I thought, oh, that's a carry-on.
I never did either.
Yeah.
And I think it was Saturday. It was Real Justice that brought that.
Oh, of course.
Well, we just got to find out what was the measurements of that suitcase, and then I will call the airline and ask.
Sure. And their dimensions are a lot fatter than you think they are. Because I remember one time, the first time I brought my, giant carry-on bag, I thought for sure it wouldn't fit. And then I tried it in the bins where they show you if your luggage is this big, it'll fit. And it had room to spare. I was very shocked.
It's something I'm not sure either. I'm not sure.
And what airline did she use? Was it American? Anyone know that?
I saw the boarding pass. I'd have to go back and look. I'm not positive.
Yeah, because I think that
zoom in on that. I've seen the boarding pass too, but I think it's got to be like zoomed in a little on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look for that too. If anybody finds that stuff, find me on social media or link it below the video. Let me know, because I'm very curious about what airline she went on, and because we can call the airline and say, what are your dimensions? I'd love to find that out. And usually you're allowed to carry a personal item. So I literally shoved my regular purse into this giant purse.
Yes,
and then I put a bunch of other things like extra shoes and, hair stuff or whatever in this carry-on that goes under the seat in front of me. And the other one goes up above, but they're awfully heavy. And I usually find some random guy in the middle tell him, could you put that up for me?
That's right.
Yeah. And then I ask another guy to get it down for me afterwards, so I don't worry about how heavy it is. But and then or whatever. If they don't do it, they look like an ass in front of everybody on the plane, so you're covered. That is so funny. But yeah, I'll look at that video again, and I'll also, if you guys can, if anyone knows where there's a link to look at the boarding pass.
And somebody thinks it looks like somebody is watching her.
Oh, how weird.
Betty's biggest neighbor.
Yeah, some people say there's a shadow just over the, the end of the fence going front porch behind it, but I don't see that anything,
This I'm pretty sure, almost 99%. Even Nate said it looks like Chris comes down the street. Well, he actually, slow it down, take screenshots, you'll see that he actually is taking it right onto the street. So what was he doing back there?
That is weird.
And that's the truth. You can see that.
So you mean the truck looks like as though it came around the corner and not?
Yeah. Yes.
But when I see him click his keys and open, unlock the car, the lights are parked right there on the street. And if you watch Shanann's Getting Home video, he's parked in exactly that spot the night a few hours before. You can see his truck in the background.
Yes, we do see that.
Yeah.
But if you watch the one in the morning, you'll see him turning onto the street. So what's he doing around the side?
Very weird. Yeah.
And there's nobody living in the back.
I know. Right. It's vacant still. They're still building it, I think, then.
Yes. I thought the cadaver dogs barked a lot in the back.
Yeah, wow. I don't know.
But,
who is it? Allie79 and Stephanie. I don't see Nicole doing any kind of interviews as long as there's all these people that are constantly 2 years later incriminating her in the crime. Why would she come out and do an interview just to be hated on some more? Which is exactly why she's hiding, right? So as long as everybody keeps dragging her through this and is incriminating her and trying to start these petitions and trying 2 years later to get her charged, she will never come out and tell her side. Why would she?
Right. No, I'd be terrified. No.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. No.
Now, I might go to a major network and tell them the whole story,
Oh,
but then
yeah.
she's going to be criticized. Yeah. No, I don't know.
If people
I
would
mean-
lay off of her and let her breathe for a while, I fully believe she would come out and finally talk.
Let me write her book and, oh, sorry.
Yeah, and let you write her book.
You got to have that part.
Yep, I got it.
You got it in the contract. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm losing my voice. I know I talk too much, so I don't blame anyone but myself. But yeah, I'm gonna look at that. You know, the Shanann getting. I keep calling her Shanann getting home video, and also
I know I'm throwing so much out there.
there's so much out there that I've seen a million times, and I don't remember what I haven't seen because it comes back around as new to me. I don't know, but
No, and I love it, Mia, because look at we all have our different opinions, but we are talking like adults.
yes. Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
it can really happen, you guys.
I'm wrong a lot.
I'm breathing. I'm wrong usually. So, but yeah. So and I appreciate you girls, and we're coming up on 2 hours here. I got to run some errands, unfortunately. But I think if you guys want to say one last thing, Mia. Oh my God, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're awesome, and I love your channel. I put a link to your channel in below in the description.
No, you're really a sweetheart.
Because you're amazing. I really love
we
it.
hope you
I
come
love
back on,
everything you do.
Mia. It's seriously really good to have you, and honestly, to get us thinking and hearing the point of views without it being jammed down our throats and in our heads that we have to accept your views. I like how today went, so definitely come on again.
Oh, for sure.
Then please come on I'm not really good with StreamYard either, so any of you or both of you are welcome at any time.
Thank you so much, Mia. You're amazing, and I really appreciate it. If you want to hang on the line here, I'm going to cut off Cher and I. Cher and me, rather. Thank you, Cher. You're amazing every day. You know, I'm so glad you're my friend and my partner in crime, kind of.
Yep. Everyone behaved, I think, mostly today, so thanks, guys. Love you, Tanya. Love you, Mia.
Love you bunches, girls. Okay,
awesome channel.
Oh, thank you, and thank you, everybody out there.
Yes, I will buy your book. Sounds awesome.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Bye, everyone. It's just me now, and my hair is awful, so I'm gonna go. Love you all. Thanks.